At dinner, the clinking of cutlery was the only sound left holding us together. My wife didn't look up when she said it. "We've agreed you're no longer part of the family." Her tone was cold, procedural, like she was reading minutes from a meeting that had already taken place without me. Across the table, my daughter nodded, lips pressed into the kind of line you make when you're told to stay strong. "Don't come home anymore," my wife continued, "and don't come to any gatherings." I looked at both of them. My hands were steady, even as my heart sank in slow motion. Then I said, "Thanks for confirming. I'll cancel all the auto payments." The room froze. For a moment, I saw it. Panic flickering behind my wife's eyes like a glitch she couldn't hide. By 12:03 a.m., the real game had begun. It wasn't always this way. We met when I was just starting out, a man with nothing but ambition and a small apartment that smelled of burnt coffee. She was elegance wrapped in sarcasm, the kind of woman who could make a room tilt when she walked in. I loved her like she was a miracle. She said I made her feel safe. That word, safe, would later sound like mockery. Together, we built everything. The house, the accounts, the routines. I trusted her with passwords, signatures, decisions. Every piece of me was an open book. I didn't realize she was reading it for the ending. It began with silence. The kind that doesn't fill a room, but drains it. Late calls she didn't explain. Laughter that wasn't meant for me. A perfume on her that I didn't buy. One night, her phone lit up on the counter. A message previewed just enough, "He won't suspect a thing." She walked in, saw my eyes on it, and froze. But I didn't ask. I smiled, handed her the phone, and kissed her cheek. She relaxed, mistaking mercy for blindness. That night, I didn't sleep. I went through our accounts, our life insurance, the shared assets. Every document that bore both our names suddenly looked like a weapon. Emotion was useless now. Logic was cleaner. I started with quiet adjustments. Changed passwords, redirected mail, transferred shares, legally, silently. Every move had a timestamp, a paper trail that made sense if you weren't looking closely. Then I reviewed her parents' trust fund, the one I'd been managing. I left no trace, but enough proof that her recent charity withdrawals would raise eyebrows. Even our daughter, my sweet, manipulated little girl, had a college fund I'd built. I shifted it to an account in her name only, cutting her mother out. I wasn't just preparing revenge. I was reclaiming control. The dinner was my cue. I needed her to believe she'd already won. The moment she said, "Don't come home anymore," I knew the timing was perfect. At 12:03 a.m., I revoked her access to every shared account. Her cards declined by morning. The mortgage, car, utilities, all tied to my auto payments, canceled. By noon, the lawyer she'd secretly met called her back, not for comfort, but clarification. The assets she thought she'd secured were already transferred weeks ago. Her messages to him, the ones she thought were private, had been neatly forwarded to his wife. And the charity audit she feared? It had just begun. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't touch a thing. All I did was confirm what she started, and finish it in silence. When she called that evening, her voice trembled for the first time in years. "You can't just cut us off," she said. "Us?" I asked quietly. "Or you?" She didn't answer. I could hear her exhale, the sound of someone realizing the floor beneath them was never stable. I hung up, poured a drink, and watched the lights flicker across the city. By midnight, she'd lost the house, the accounts, the image. The same people who used to praise her now whispered in corners, wondering what happened. I didn't correct them. I let her drown in her own story. 2 weeks later, my daughter called. She said she was sorry. She'd believed what her mother told her, that I'd left for someone else, that I didn't care. Now she knew better. I didn't gloat. I just told her I was proud she called. That was enough. I've learned something about betrayal. It doesn't destroy you unless you try to fight it emotionally. It's a fire. You don't run into it screaming. You step back. You let it burn what it must, and then you build something stronger on the ashes. So when I think about that dinner, about the sentence that ended it all, "We've agreed you're no longer part of the family," I smile. Because by 12:03 a.m., they weren't part of mine either.